Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Alright, we're live. And as you guys can tell by title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on more game logic in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. But that said, as you guys can see my background as well, I did kind of change the poster by setup and where my camera is located at. Okay, that's it. Let's go to my gameplay screen. And guys, I feel like, what you would call it, every time I talk to the camera, I look at you guys, I gotta like stare all the way up there. I mean, I feel like it's actually kind of good. That's it. Let's go to my gameplay screen. There we go. Okay, I guess there's going to be less eye contact these days. Let's go ahead and close my OBS as well. Alright, let's go ahead and say something like 6 a.m. live exclamation. Okay, perfect. And guys, the reason I made all this space is because I'm actually thinking I'm going to be at what you call it, make a community poll asking you guys whether or not I should have a Blender stream or a workout stream this Tuesday, because every Tuesday I do have a stream that's something that's not actually programming. Okay, that's it. Alright, your stream is back. Quick status check. Where we're at, did you delete the accidental C++ class, blueprints' header files, blueprints' C++ file, and I just realized Gemini's kind of outdated. Hiding Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Hiding Gadazes, I appreciate you joining the stream as well. Have you tried VLang already? Honestly, guys, I have not tried VLang yet, but I will be trying it. Maybe after the series, I'm going to be having a mini series, giving it a shot. That said, am I in my gameplay screen? And guys, this is like way too awkward. Like, I'm not used to staring up when I actually talk to you guys. Okay, that's it. So basically, this was the code that I wrote yesterday, which is last stream. If I were to run the code, let me show you guys what happens. Hold up, guys, give me a quick little second. Okay, so it says one succeeded, and it opens my Unreal Engine here. Okay, let's wait for Unreal Engine to open, I guess. The reason I actually didn't open it before stream is actually because I forgot. Okay, I see. That's it. I am actually kind of excited to try VLang, because, like, I did, like, watch a few YouTube tutorials on that online as to what it does and all that. It does seem kind of fun. That's it. Let's go all the way up, hit some content drawer, and then like double click my map, and then yes, remember my choices. There we go. So technically what I did last stream, if I were to run the code here, I can go ahead and rotate my player, move my player, but if I click C in my keyboard, did that thing compile? Was it C or B? Hold up, guys, I forgot what key press was it. Okay, it is C. Every time I press C, I should have been able to spawn my actor. I guess I'll go with Control Alt F11 real quick to compile my code. Maybe once my code is compiled, it's gonna work. Okay, anyways, I'll return next stream and check Vivek tries VLang status. Guys, that actually sounds kind of cool. Okay, you're handsome as always, guys. I feel like that made me kind of blush. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and close this. Now, if I were to go ahead and run the code again, okay, I guess let's go ahead and fix my summon logic. It did work last stream, but apparently I guess something did not save. Okay, so I have my summon action binded here, and today I was going to be working on the chase logic, but I guess before that I'll kind of work on the summon logic and like kind of debug it. Okay, so in my Lisa's C++ file, I have my state change that I won't be needing for the time being, although I do have a summon. So let's go to my Tom's header files. In my header files, I have a there we go. I have a T subclass of where I have summon Lisa, and then a virtual void function. Then in my C++ file, I define my summon function. I get my world. I check if my world and my character exists. Then I go ahead and get my character's spawn location. I get my character's spawn rotation, and then I spawn my character in the world. Okay, this is actually pretty much it. Then I have my summon action. I guess let's try building the code from here and running it again, because I mean, I'm positive that this is like just a visual studio kind of bug, which is going to automatically like fix itself once I kind of build the program. Okay, that's it. Let's see. 4 succeeded, 0 failed. Let's go ahead and kind of exit this, open my Unreal Engine. Now, if I were to go ahead and run the code, if I were to click C, okay, that is quite strange. I guess I'm going to go here and type something like summon. Let's go with something like summon. Okay, let's change my summon Lisa to something like my BP underscore Lisa, which is basically my Lisa's blueprint. And then I'm going to go ahead and compile. Okay, and then in my IA underscore look, I'm going to go with something like summon as well, where I don't have it. Okay, now if I were to run the code, I should be able to summon. I am not able to summon. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to go to my Tom. This is my Tom. Okay, I guess I'm going to go ahead and extend this. I don't really know why I can't actually summon. Like, it literally worked last stream. There we go, because my summoning says none. This is going to be my Lisa's blueprint. Okay, and just to be sure, just to like double check, I'm going to go to my C++ classes. Let's go with something like my Lisa's blueprints. Thing is, I created a C++ class by mistake last stream. But that's fine. I guess this should be enough to like summon my object. I'm gonna go with Control Alt F11. Okay, let's wait for this to compile. Now if I run the code. Alright guys, let's kind of exit this. Now if I run the code and I click C. There we go. Okay, so my object does summon. The only thing that I gotta do right now is go to something like character. Go to something like Lisa, right click. I'm gonna create a blueprint class. Let's call it something like real underscore BP underscore Lisa. So real blueprint resources class. I'm gonna go ahead and create the class. And now let's go ahead and kind of get this here. And then I'm gonna click the add, go with something like a static mesh. I'm gonna go ahead and add a static mesh here. Let's set the mesh to be something like, I don't know, I'll go with something like Lisa. Okay, there, this should be perfect. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and get my mesh a bit in front, a bit lower, and kind of position it. Alright, guys, let me just get a bit here. There. Okay, so you guys see which way this arrow is facing? I want my mesh to be facing that way, so I'm gonna go ahead and click something like E in my keyboard, and just kind of rotate my mesh around 90 degrees. Okay, then click something like W, go a bit lower, go a bit in front, and a bit to the back. There. I think that's good. I think that's good. Now my character is inside the mesh. Nope, not really in the mesh. Let's go a bit back. Okay, and then a bit more to the left. There, now I feel like Lisa is inside the... Nope. I'm gonna get it a bit in front. Okay, here. I think that's good. Okay, now my mesh is inside the capsule here. So I'm gonna go ahead and compile. Hit Ctrl Alt F11 to compile the code here as well. Let's wait for this to compile real quick. There we go. And then let's go ahead and run the code. If I run the code and click something like C. Lisa has spawned and she's chasing you. Why can I not see? I clearly see something here. If I go to Tum, let's go to summon. I see that Lisa actually summoned. It's not bad that it didn't summon. There we go. It's just that I can't see my mesh because I had the wrong blueprint class on. Okay, this is definitely gonna work. Result succeeded. Let's go ahead and run the code. If I click C, there we go. Okay, so my characters or my meshes do spawn now, but they don't really do anything. I'm gonna go ahead and add a few kind of attributes to it where they chase me depending on their current state, which could either be attack, chase, or idle. Which the state is going to be idle if they're like if my character is 1,000 units away or 1,000 centimeters away from my Lisa's character mesh, if that makes any sense. That said, Lisa is gonna start chasing my character if I get anything which is less than 1,000 units away from Lisa. Like, I don't know how to explain that part, guys. I feel like I'm not warmed up yet to like speak. Okay, that said, what is the next thing that I want to do? I want to go ahead and work on my chase logic, which I clearly kind of did up here. So I do have a chase logic here. So I guess the only thing that I need to add, did you get new streamer scam? Honestly, it is like my old webcam, but then I like moved apartments, so I got like a bit more room, so I could actually get my webcam a bit higher, so you guys can see my entire background. That said, the best part is if I go to my main camera, there's like so much space here, so I can actually do my workout streams as well. Because guys, I feel like I'm getting kind of scrawny these days. There we go. Okay, let's go to my gameplay screen, and now, okay, I think that's perfect. Now, let me get my Unreal Engine back here one more time. I'm going to go ahead and run the code. If I were to run the code, why did I need this? Okay, so it does say Lisa is chasing me if I get close enough. If I go far, like really, really far, 1,000 units away, it does not change the G-Engine add-on screen debug message. So I gotta fix that one part. Let's see the next thing. It's really lovely. Honestly, that sounds really cool. I appreciate you, Pixels. Okay, let's see. Let's go all the way up here. Okay, the second thing that I wanted to add was a nav mesh, which is basically a navigation mesh. So I'm gonna go with something like nav mesh. Nav mesh is basically a thing that tells my character, which in this case is my Lisa that I summoned, where all is it allowed to move? Is it allowed to move just in a certain line or in a certain area? If that makes any sense, guys. Let's go ahead and extend this. I want my Lisa to be moving in, let's say, the entire map here, is it like called the entire radius of my map? This is not a circular map, so I don't think I can use radius, guys. Let's go with something like W, go a bit higher, go a bit back. Now I'm gonna hit something like, let's go with R, kind of extend myself in that direction. There. I just want to get my Lisa all the way up here. There. Okay, now my Lisa can go everywhere, which is inside this big capsule here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit something like W, and then let's go ahead and hit Control Alt F11 to compile my code. Nerd, guys, Nerd is actually kind of crazy. Why are you streaming this? Honestly, I feel like I did like start a whatchamacallit, a programming for 250 series, where my goal by the end of this series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. So firstly, I started by learning C++ because I thought if I was going to be making a game, C++ might be the best language. I didn't know about C# and all that back then. That said, so I started by learning C++ in like Visual Studio, and then I moved on to SDL, and I started working somewhat with SDL and learning more about game development. And then I guess I moved on to Unreal Engine after that. I really wanted to try Vulkan, but you guys did pick Unreal Engine in the community post, so I guess I went with that. Now, if I were to go ahead and click C, okay, my character does not chase me yet, so I can go ahead and click P. This is the surface where my Lisa can actually move around on. Let's hit P again. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and go inside my Lisa's header files. Okay, let's go with my states here. Okay, there we go. So in my chase state, I don't really have a logic here that says my Lisa to follow my Tom, which is basically my character. So I'm going to go ahead and right click my Visual Studio. Go to something like my Dodge the Enemy project. This was the project that I worked on like 4 streams ago. Okay, I did use this kind of for a reference because I don't really know the syntaxes that well. Okay, let's see. And I'm just using this as a reference. It's not really the exact same thing. Okay, I really think your new apartment looks lovely. Actually, that sounds really cool. I appreciate the pixels. Okay, oh my god, I really missed so many streams. Honestly, I feel like I didn't make all that much progress. Although I should have made much more. Let's see. So, if I were to go to my Lisa's C++ file. There we go. So this is what I meant. So, I gotta go ahead and get my Lisa's controller when she's on idle state. Okay, and then I check if my state is idle. Stop movement. These are the kind of syntax and like function names that I don't really know yet because I didn't have enough practice with them. Okay, I need one Lisa controller, which points towards move to actor player target 50. Okay, I see. So technically when I first start my chasing, I gotta get my controller. I gotta go ahead and get my player target from my U gameplay statistic. That's where we actually added the Kismet's gameplay statistics as header files. That is basically like a helper library. Okay, so I go with something like a character, player target, U gameplay statistics, which use a scope resolution operator to point towards get player character, where I have my world context object, which is going to be get world, and then player 0. I see. I do want to look at this as a reference while writing this part, so I am going to get this in my other window real quick. Okay, and then let's just kind of decrease the size. There, so apparently, firstly, in my chase logic, does chase logic come before idle? It does not come before idle. Okay, so in my chase logic, I'm going to go ahead and firstly get my player assist controller that I did not get. Okay, so Lisa state, my state name is going to be chasing, and then I'm going to go down here. Let's say I'm going to add something. I'm going to go with something like a AI controller. Okay, which is going to be represented by pointer called something like Lisa controller. And guys, I am like looking at the reference while writing this specific part because I don't really know what goes here. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to set that equal to cast. And the reason you guys see it very underlined here is because I did not really include my modules inside of my build.cs file, my AI controller navigation system modules there yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. I just want to kind of get used to writing the syntax and kind of understanding what it means. So I'm going to go with something like AI controller, okay, which is going to be having a pair of parentheses here that has a parameter of my get controller. Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to go with a pair of parentheses to invoke the function ending with a semicolon. Now I'm gonna hit Control Alt L to get my Solution Explorer here, and then inside my Solution Explorer, I'm gonna go under Source. Do you guys see a build.cs? There we go. So I see my enemy AI logic.build.cs file. In my build.cs file, I did add AI module and navigation systems. What am I missing? Okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get my other project here as well. Let's see what did I add in my build.cs file here. Hi, howdy, Roy. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Let's go all the way up here till my build.cs file. And now in my build.cs file, I added my input core that's already added for us, added enhanced input, added AI module, and added navigation systems. In that case, the thing that I might be missing could be that I did not include my helper file. I really did not include my helper file. Oh wait, I guess... Okay, this is C++, right? Let's go ahead and get my second file here as well. I want to ask one question. How much % you got in the 12th class? Honestly, I don't think I actually went to 12th grade. I've mostly been homeschooled. Okay, why are you streaming this? Honestly, because I feel like it is a pretty good topic. That said, let's go ahead and get this here. Okay, so in my C++ file, I would need to include AI controllers as header files, engine/engines as header files, and my Kespit libraries as gameplay statistics header files. Okay, guys, I see the chat when you guys tap it once, so you spam. Okay, so firstly, I'm gonna go ahead and include my helper file. I'm gonna go with something like include a row of double quotes. Let's go with something like Kespit/gameplay statistics.h, which is my gameplay statistics as header files. And then I'm gonna go ahead and include, let's say, something from my engine. So I'm gonna go with something like engine/engine.h. And now here's the thing, I don't really see the reason to include my engine here because the reason we really added that is to use our G-engine add-on screen debug method, but I think we can literally use that without it. Although I might ask that to Claude later on. That's it, I'm gonna go with include again. This time, what else do I want to include? I want to include my AI controller. C-O-N-T-R-O. There we go. I want to include my AI controllers as header files. And now magically I can go ahead and what up, guys? There we go, that's Chase. There we go. Magically I can go ahead and use my AI controller here. Alright, once I'm done with this, let's go ahead and get my reference up here again. And guys, the reason I am using the reference is because I don't know most function names here, so I'm kind of learning them too. Okay, that's it. Now, inside my chase logic, I'm firstly going to get the brain, the controller. Okay, I guess I'm going to add a comment here that says something like get controller. Okay, once I'm done getting my controller, I'm going to go ahead and get the player. So I'm going to add a comment that says something like get player. I'm assuming by get player, it means get player's location. But I'm going to go with something like a character because my player is a character. Okay, which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like player target. Okay, that is going to be equal to my U gameplay statistics. I'm going to go with something like gameplay statistics with a scope resolution operator that points towards my get player character with a parentheses of something like get world. I want to go ahead and set my player index to be 0, ending with a semicolon. I do need kind of a brief explanation on what this does, but I will ask that after I'm done writing this stuff. Okay, that's the next step. Once I'm done getting my controller and getting my player, I'm going to go ahead and add another comment. Actually, I don't think I want to add a comment here. Instead, I'm going to go with an if statement that says something like if my Lisa controller, okay, if my Lisa controller and player target, I'm assuming this is somewhat like a safety statement, which basically means that if my Lisa's controller exists and if my player target exists, then I'm going to go ahead and do something. Okay, the command move the player stop when within 50 units. I'm going to go with something like move Lisa and stop when 50 units in range. Okay, and stop in 50 units in range. So I'm gonna go with something like my Lisa controller. Let's go with something like Lisa controller. There we go. What up, guys? Okay, so my Lisa controller is gonna go ahead and point towards my move to actor. There we go. This is a new function that I did not actually know what it does. Okay, but I will be asking Claude once I'm done with this part, where I'm gonna go with something like my player target. And acceptance radius, I'm gonna go with something like 50.f. Okay, so this should be pretty much it. I'm trying to understand what this kind of means. The only thing that I gotta actually learn is my function names here. Okay, so I wouldn't apparently need my distance to player less than 80. I'm gonna switch my state to attack. I mean, I could keep it. So distance to player less than 80, my state is going to be attack. If distance is greater than 500, current state is going to be idle. Oh, so I don't just add my attack. Transition to attack or idle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a comment here that says something like TRANSATION. I think I spelled transition wrong. Transition to attack or idle. There we go. Okay, so for my transition to attack or idle, I'm gonna go ahead and firstly add my transition to attack logic, where if my distance is less than 80, my current state is gonna be attack, and I'm gonna go ahead and display this add-on screen debug message. Okay. Although here's the thing, I could display this, but for some reason, guys, I kind of forgot what I want to say. There we go. For some reason, in my other project, I added my debug message after I was done with my cases. Most likely, so they can be displayed every single frame, if that makes any sense, or every single time I change my state or I'm following my player around. Current state is going to be attack. Okay. Hold up, guys. In case you guys send some message and I don't really see this, because I have this window in the other screen because I am looking and studying the reference while writing it. Okay, so transition to attack or idle. I'm done with my attack transition. Before my break statement, I'm going to add another if statement. This if statement is going to check if my distance to player. So let's go ahead and copy my distance to player. There. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Where did I really create my... There we go. I initialize my distance to player in my constructor. That makes so much more sense. Okay, so if my distance to player is, let's say, greater than... maybe 500.f, then I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to add a pair of curly braces. In my pair of curly braces, I'm going to set my current state. I'm just going to copy this to save some time. Paste it here. My current state is going to go ahead and change to something like idle. I don't want to be attacking anymore. I don't want to be chasing anymore. I want to stay still in a specific location. Let's add a logic. So, current state equals to... Okay, so for my logic, under my state, I'm going to add another if statement. Tell her to stop if she gives up. Okay, so I'm going to go with something like Lisa stops if 500 if Tom is 500 units away from her. There, so I'm going to add an if statement to check something. I'm going to go ahead and check if my... Lisa controller. Okay, and then I'm going to go with a pair of curly braces. So if my Lisa controller does exist, then I'm going to go ahead and point my Lisa controller towards my stop movement. Okay, and then I'm going to go with a pair of parentheses to invoke the function ending with a semicolon. That's pretty much it now. Once I'm done with that, I needed an attack too. Seriously? Okay, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and create another case. So after my break, there's my case. There we go. I'm going to create another case. This case is going to be for my Elisa, what's it called? Okay, E state type. So I'm going to copy that and paste it here. So for my E state type, I'm going to go ahead and check something. If my E state type is attack, then I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to add a colon here, go in a new line, and then just kind of check whether or not I kind of messed up. Okay, I did kind of mess up. This shouldn't be outside here. It should be inside my switch. There we go. Okay, so if my state type is attack, then I'm going to go ahead and do something. firstly, I'm gonna go ahead and change my state type. Let's go ahead and copy this. By state type, I meant state name. This is going to be equal to something like attack. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of end this with a semicolon. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm going to go all the way down here and then let's add a comment. Now, for my comment logic, for now, let's just go back and chase after a moment simulation. In a real game, you'd wait for an animation to finish. Okay, so we just kind of changed. If my state is attack, I guess I'm just gonna go with something like attack to chase logic. For my attack to chase logic, I think Musa, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like an if statement that says something like if my distance to player is greater than 250.f, which is basically 250 units away from my, actually in a range of 250 units from my term, which is basically my character, I'm gonna do something. My current state, which is called current state, okay, my current state is gonna go ahead and be equal to my state type. I'm gonna go ahead and copy state type, paste it here. This is gonna be chase. Okay, and guys, I gotta like be sure to check our likes every 25 minutes, because every 25 minutes for one like I do one push-up type stuff. That would actually be kind of cool. Wait, I guess it's been 27 minutes. I actually kind of forgot. Hold up, guys, let me kind of calculate the push-ups. I gotta do 12. I mean, I don't think 12 is going to be that hard, so let's go to my gameplay screen. Guys, kind of remind me if I forget about seeing the time. There we go. Let's go to my main camera. Now, in my main camera, let's kind of just go ahead and get this a bit lower, move my chair back here. Okay, and guys, let's see if I still can do a lot of push-ups. Let's get this back here. There we go. I think that much space is kind of good. Okay, so let's do 12 push-ups. Alright. Okay, I think that was around 12. I feel like I should have warmed up before going here. And in case you guys don't prefer me doing push-ups in like the portrait mode, which is basically in a vertical stream, make sure to move on to my horizontal stream. That's where you guys can see it in landscape mode. And guys, I'm kind of out of breath. Hold up, let me just go ahead and go to my gameplay screen. I think that's pretty good. I think Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Guys, I think I really need this workout. Okay, that's said. Let's go ahead and let's just save the code. Now, if I were to go ahead and open my Unreal Engine here, hit something like Ctrl-Alt-F11 to compile my code, let's see what happens. Okay, let's wait for this to compile. I'm pretty sure I actually binded everything. Wait, it says Lisa controller. Cast. Okay, what line does it say? See declaration of Lisa controller. Did I have a typo? What line did I get an error on? It usually says the line. Alright guys, let's see. It says a C2360 error. Player target is skipped by case label. Wait, did I kind of end my case with a colon or like a semicolon? Okay, so it is. Oh, I see. Okay, my bad, guys. Whenever you guys add a case, make sure to break the case. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get this a bit higher. Let's go here and then let's go ahead and break. Ending with a semicolon. Now, if I were to go ahead and something like Ctrl-Alt-F11, let's see what happens. Guys, I actually think that I wasn't as ready to do those push-ups without being warmed up. AI controller, Lisa controller, get controller. Initialization of player target is skipped by case. Okay, let me kind of skim through this and see where I could have messed up. Apparently, this is where I was told that I messed up. Maybe I could go ahead and try building the solution here. And let's try debugging it real quick. Okay, so it says one failed. Why does it fail? Do you guys see any red underlines? I don't. Is it a logic error? I think it might be a logic error. So I guess let's open this reference real quick. I might actually look at the reference while kind of debugging it. So firstly, after my begin play here, I go with my update logic where I do have an F string, okay? Where I do have an F string, then I have, wait, my F string goes under, okay? And then I have a switch where my first switch is for idle, and then I go with something like, if my distance to player is less than 1,000, if player is less than 1,000 units away from Lisa, Lisa chases player. Okay, current state equals to chase, and then current state equals to chase. And then a add-on screen debug message. I think that part's correct. Unless I kinda... Okay, I think that part's correct. And then I'm gonna go with something like case. Then I have something like chase. If my case is chase, my Lisa state. Oh. Hold up. Maybe I should have done something like this. Let's go all the way down here until my break. Kind of copy that. Where does this start? I think I see where I messed up. Apparently, if I kind of just remove this. Wait, if I were to go with Control Z, hold up guys, let me kind of think this up real quick. Starts there. Okay, so I'm assuming this is where the if statement ends. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. Let's kind of delete this. And I'm gonna go ahead and paste that right here. There, now I'm inside of my scope. And then the same thing comes for this. I'm gonna go ahead and copy all of that. Maybe copy all of that. Okay, and then kind of delete this, add a pair of curly braces, and paste it here. Then now let's hit Control S to save the code, go to my Unreal Engine, hit something like Control Alt F11 to compile the code, and let's see what happens. Result succeeded. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and run the code. If I hit C. Okay, my Lisa does not chase me yet, so I gotta go ahead and kind of debug my chasing logic too. Two things for my chasing logic. The first thing that I should have done is I added my... I forgot what it's called, my nav mesh. What's the second thing that I might need? I added my logic that says if I'm in my chase mode and my Lisa controller exists, my player exists, Lisa moves towards player. Okay, so that part's correct. What else? I mean, I think that part's correct, so that should have been kind of it. Okay, is there something else that I'm missing? Let me think. Maybe not, honestly. I am missing an add-on screen debug message, which I could just... Let me just actually copy that to save time, because I don't really want to spend a lot of time writing an add-on screen debug message where I have a F string, which is going to be printf. This is going to be something like state name. There we go, with that is going to be distance to player. Let's hit Control S to save the code. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Alt F11 real quick. Kind of check. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, let's go to my gameplay screen. Guys, honestly, I just like a PC that randomly crashed. It said your PC ran into trouble. Okay, actually trouble into some kind of problem. Okay, that kind of ruined the flow, I guess. Okay, so where was I? Let me open my Visual Studio real quick. I hope that my program is saved though. There we go, let's go with something like dodge the enemy. Gonna open my voice mod, kind of exit that as well. And then it is opening my Unreal Engine too, because I kind of clicked Unreal Engine by mistake. Okay, let's wait for my Unreal Engine to open. I'm gonna exit this. Let's open my Unreal Engine through my Visual Studio. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let's wait for my Unreal Engine to open real quick. Guys, it's so annoying when like my PC crashes every once in a while. I feel like it happens way more often than once in a while. Okay, that's let's go ahead and wait for this to open real quick. There we go. Okay, now where was I? Let's see. Let's kind of just extend that real quick. Now, I'm gonna go to something like content drawer and hit map. Fingers crossed. Okay, my nav mesh is saved, so maybe everything is gonna be saved. Gonna hit something like C. And Lisa is chasing me now. I'm starting to think that the reason my PC crashed was because they wanted to tell me that you gotta probably restart or like refresh your Unreal Engine so it stops like bugging or glitching for a bit. But yeah, my Lisa does chase me right now, but it does give me a vibe of like, did you guys ever play Roblox? In Roblox, there's like the pets that follow you in a few simulator games. It looks exactly like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of fix this. Let's go ahead and exit the program for now. I'm gonna work on adding a sprint logic, and now unlike my chase logic, a sprint logic is like relatively easier. So I'm gonna do that on my own because I feel that's kind of easy. Although I do need to work on the chase logic a bit more. I might do that after this though. That said, now firstly for my sprint logic, I'm gonna go ahead and create, let's say, a U property where I might zoom in a bit because I can't see this far. Okay, let's go with something like sprint action. Okay, let's go with something like sprint action. For my sprint action, I'm going to go ahead and create a U property where I want my sprint action to be edited anywhere. I want to be able to edit it anywhere. ANY. I think I spelled it wrong. Anywhere. There we go. Where I want to be able to edit it anywhere. Guys, why can't I type right now? I want my sprint action to be blueprint read only. I only want my blueprint to be able to read my sprint action. And lastly, I want my category to be equal to something like input, because technically when I sprint, I'm going to go ahead and give my Unreal Engine a input, for example, Q, and then I want to increase my speed. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and create a U input action, which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like sprint action. SPRINTACTION. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Once I'm done with this, let's see what's the next thing that I might need. The next thing that I could need is that I have a boolean variable of is qpress. That makes it so much easier. I have a white sprint function as well. Oh, you're joking me. Did I already create a sprint action? I have it binded. Well, I have my entire sprint action already. Oh. Wait. Hold up, guys. Hold up. My bad. I opened the wrong project. This is my dodge the enemy project. No wonder Lisa was kind of chasing me perfectly. Well, my bad, guys. Give me a sec. Let's open my enemy AI logic. This is the project that I'm looking for. Let's exit my Unreal Engine from here. Let's run the code real quick. Okay, let's wait for my Unreal Engine to open while my program is kind of running. Okay, a project with an output type of class library cannot be started directly. Okay, let's go to my C++ file for Lisa. Let's try running it again. Okay, for some reason I cannot run this directly, so I'm gonna go with something like build solution. Let's kind of build my solution. Okay. Why does it say 1 out of 11? I don't even have those many contents. Okay, I guess let's wait for this to build itself. And guys, I gotta like be sure to like calculate the likes up. Last time I did like 12 push-ups. I gotta. Okay, should I like start off from scratch again every time it is 25 minutes? For example, the first 25 minutes I did 12 push-ups. Next 25 minutes I'm gonna do 15 because we're currently at like 15 likes type stuff. That might be kind of fun, to be honest. Okay, well I guess I'm exiting this. I'll just work with. Fine, let's exit it. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go to build. Let's cancel this. Now I'm gonna exit it. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and only work on the project that actually does work, because instead of wasting time on the other project that potentially could be kind of messed up, I wanna figure this. Wait, hold up. Auto possess AI. Auto possess AI place in world or spawned. I do this using my blueprint. I did that using my blueprint. Okay, I do this using my blueprint. There's no reason to actually add that here. And that said, let's see. So I have a move target, I have attack, I have idle controller. Tell her to stop if she gives up. And then case, I have a break here, and then I have a G engine add-on string debug message. Why does it say, like, if I were to like go ahead, I kind of really wanna debug my enemy AI logic instead of just working on a project that already works. Okay, so I have player char. That's for my take distance to player. Update Lisa logic. Okay, I gotta add my tick as well, where I gotta go with something like my you gave the statistics too. Okay, I guess we're going somewhere here. Okay, let's go ahead and open my Lisa's C++ file, exit my Unreal Engine configurations from there. Now, inside of my tick, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of firstly decrease the font of that because it's way too big. There. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and find the player. So I'm gonna add a comment that says something like find the player. Okay, to find my player, I'm gonna go with something like a character, which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like player char that is equal to my u gameplay statistics. I'm gonna go with something like u gameplay statistics. Okay, that uses a scope resolution operator to point towards my get player character. Okay, so I'm getting my player character here, character. Okay, then I'm gonna go with the prof parentheses to invoke the function a character, character. I spelled character wrong. There we go. So a player character, this is going to be having a parameter of my get world. Okay, this gives me access to my Unreal Engine's world, and then my I forgot, I think it was like index. My player index is going to be 0. There we go. And then let's end this with a semicolon. Once I'm done with finding my player, I'm going to move on to the step 2, measure distance, safety check, make sure the player exists. So I'm going to go with something like an if statement to add a safety check to check if my player char exists. If it does exist, then I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to go with something like distance to player, player, is going to be equal to my get distance to function. Don't really know what this does, so I will be asking Claude after I'm done figuring this, or like kind of not figuring, I mean maybe kind of figuring this out as well, because I am kind of learning this. But I want to ask Claude what this function does. TISTNCE2. Okay. Ask Claude. So say, okay, I'm just going to leave that tiny comment there so I know what else to ask. I'm going to go with something like player char. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to move on to my step 3. My third step is going to be, let's say, run the brain. And this is going to be me invoking my update function. So I'm going to go to my Lisa's header files, copy my update state logic. Then I'm going to go ahead and kind of paste that here with a prof parentheses, ending with a semicolon. Update state logic, update state logic, update state logic. There we go. Okay, now let's hit Control S to save the code. I'm going to go ahead and run the code real quick. In order to debug this project, add an executable file to the solution which references the library project. Set the executable project as the startup project. Don't I have one? Do what now? Development editor, Unreal Engine configurations, then 64. That is the bug game editor. Might go with configure manager. I guess I'm gonna run this. Go with Windows Shift S to kind of copy this real quick. And now let's just grab Claude here. Get Claude here real quick. Gonna paste this. Go with Shift Enter and see something nice and say, I get that error when I try to run my program. What does it mean and how to fix it? Question mark. I didn't want to write that in caps. Okay, thinking about identifying and resolving a problem, diagnosing class libraries, execution error. I see the problem. You're trying to run the project from Visual Studio pressing F5 or the green start button, but that's not how Unreal Engine works. Here's what's happening. That's exactly how Unreal Engine works. In your Visual Studio project, your Visual Studio project is a DLL, dynamic link library. Its code that gets located by Unreal Engine is not standalone.exe program. The correct workflow, don't press F5 or click the green start button in Visual Studio. Instead, build in Visual Studio, press Ctrl-Shift-B, build solution, go to build solution, wait for it to say build succeeded. Step 2, run the Unreal editor. Open your project file, double click enemy AI logic.project, open an Unreal editor, or if Unreal editor is already open, press the play button. I mean, sure, I guess, but usually it works like that. Let's go with something like build solution. Okay, now let's wait for this to build real quick. Okay, so it says result succeeded. Now let's firstly try to find it from here. Still doesn't let me, so I'm gonna open my solution explorer. I'm gonna actually solution explorer, my what's this called? My file explorer, and then I'm gonna go to something like documents. I'm gonna go to Unreal projects. Let's go with something like enemy AI logic. Kind of double click this. Let's open it through my Unreal Engine. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Unreal Engine here. Now, inside my Unreal Engine, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for it to open first. Restore packages. Sure, I definitely want to restore everything selected. Let's go with OK. Let's close my file explorer here. Gonna grab my Unreal Engine. Now, inside my Unreal Engine, I'm going to click yes to get all my assets back. I'm going to go to my Unreal Engine's content drawer. Going to double click my map. Going to go ahead and run the code. Hit C. Okay, at least I spawn my characters. Kind of like spamming this. And that said, once I'm done with that, now let's go ahead and fix my actual logic here. So my character chases me or chases my player. Add on screen debug message. I have a bug. This is current state. I have Lisa controller, stop movement, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go back to my Unreal Engine. Go ahead and kind of extend this part here. Now let's go to terms. So the thing that I might be missing could be okay, what is some settings that I'm missing here? Let me think. What do I need for a chase? I'm pretty sure I needed something in my blueprint. So in my Tom's blueprint, something that I needed. Let me think. Is there anything that I need? Okay, I can't really remember the blueprint settings that I might need. So let's go ahead and grab plot back here. Let's go ahead and say something like, say, it worked, exclamation. That said, I added the logic where my player should chase my, where my summoned object should chase my player, although it does not chase my player, ... Okay, let me go with something like shift enter, go with something like control A, control C, copy that, get plot back up here, paste this, go with shift enter and see something like, that is my Lisa. Let's go with something like Lisa's .h file. Okay, let's see, and guys, this is just me. It's really getting warm out here. Okay, so scrutinizing code logic for blah blah. Okay, I found the problem. Look at your Lisa's constructor, a missing AI controller assignment. Give Lisa an AI brain, E auto possessed. Don't we like do this inside our blueprint? Because I did see this part and I purposely ignored it. But let's give it a try real quick. I'm gonna go to my constructor. Okay, because shouldn't we have done this inside our blueprint? Because I did do it in my blueprint. Like if I were to go to my thumb here, I'm gonna go with something like spawn. There we go. It's spawn in world or spawn, placed in world or spawn. I've already said that, so I don't have much expectations by adding that block of code. I'm gonna go with Control Alt F11 to compile my code. Let's wait for this to compile. It's the first time, so it does take a while. Okay, it says result succeeded, error code. Wait, it says failed to compile. Let's go with Control A, Control C. Failed to compile. Okay, why could it be saying failed to compile? Let's see. Okay, I mean, I can go ahead and grab plot back up here, and then paste it here, go shift enter and say something like sensei. I've never seen that error before. What does it mean, question mark? I got it when I hit Control plus Alt plus F11 on my keyboard to compile my code. Okay, let's see. So, thinking about identifying, blah blah, deciphering. Guys, it goes way too quick. Here's the problem. Close Unreal Editor, save everything. Close Unreal Editor completely. Delete intermediate files. Go to project. Delete these folders. Binary, intermediate. Cloud sent me to delete that yesterday as well. I did not. Be built from Visual Studio. Open your .sln file. Okay, fine, let's try it, because I was set to delete my binary and intermediate folder last stream as well. I did not do it on purpose for some reason. Let's exit that. I'm going to open my Solution Explorer. I'm going to go to something like Documents. I'm going to go to Unreal Projects. Now, in here, I'm going to delete my intermediate folder. I'm going to delete my binary folder. Then I'm going to go ahead and double-click my SLN file to open my Visual Studio up here. Just kind of exit that too. And now, I'm going to save everything. Let's build first. Actually, instead of building, everything is saved. I get this error. Okay. Let's go on with the second thing that we could do when we get this kind of issue is that I'm going to go here. I'm going to right click, go with show more options. Right click, show more options. I'm going to generate Visual Studio project files. That did bring up an intermediate file, so that's something new. Okay, let's just go ahead and grab that here. There we go. So it's generating my project files. Assuming that it's done, I'm going to go ahead and open this. And now, alright guys, let's wait for this to kind of open. Okay, and I guess, oh, we did it. Okay, hold up guys, the past 25 more minutes. Let me go back to my main camera. There we go. Okay, I guess this time we're going to be doing 16 push-ups. Although I feel like it might add up, because like at the 25 minutes mark I did like actually go ahead and do like 12. That's it. I feel it's gonna be pretty good for my fitness. Okay, so I guess let's go ahead and do 15 push-ups. Actually 16. What up guys, let me actually check if my camera's going good. I think it is. There we go. There we go. Okay guys, I feel like I think 16 is my limit here. I mean, I might actually go with more because I do want to have like whatchamacallit, some more workout on my streams, because I feel like I'll be sitting the whole time. 17. I guess I'll do one more for the whatchamacallit, just for the sake of it. Unless you guys can see it anymore. Why is my screen kind of blurry? Up guys, I don't know if you guys could like see it. I'll just do one here. There we go. Okay, I think that's good for now. Let's go ahead and kind of close this. Guys, I am pretty strong. Why is my camera blurry? Alright guys, let me kind of just fix my webcam real quick. It's actually kind of blurry. Let's go a bit closer, come a bit back. The zoom? What's wrong with the zoom? Hold up guys. Maybe I show something like my phones. There we go. Let's go a bit back. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to restart OBS. Give me a sec guys. Already mic testing, mic testing. Alright, perfect guys. I was just whatchamacallit, restarting my OBS because for some reason it did not kind of restart itself. That's it. Let's go to my gameplay screen. Right there. Okay, perfect. Now, where was I? Actually forgot. Yeah, that's it. I feel like the workout is getting kind of big these days. Okay, so I have my auto-possessed AI. I kind of restarted everything. This is my file generated. Now it's on my file. Let's try running it. This might work. I have a strong feeling it did not work. So a project with an output type of class library cannot be started directly. Okay, so maybe I'm going to go ahead and exit this and kind of check my syntax, because I don't think I have a syntax error. Okay, instead, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of right click this, go to something like dodge the enemy and kind of work on this project, I guess. Because I think I kind of messed up with the other project. I do want to kind of see what went wrong though. I see my intermediate. Guys, I'm out of breath. Hold up. There we go. Okay, found a suitable location browsing database. Okay, I guess I'll go with something like okay. Couldn't hurt, right? Let's exit that. Keep this up here. Now, if I run the code here, this actually does open my Visual Studio, so that's good. And this already has my chase logic, so I can work on the logic that has already been worked on, if that makes any sense. Let's wait for this to compile. Result succeeded, and now it's opening my Visual Studio. In my Visual Studio, I'm gonna whatchamacallit, I already have my sprint logic and my move logic. I mean my chase logic and sprint logic, but I will be like working on them more for the time being. I do want to kind of just be familiar with like the syntax and like the function names so I can actually use them when I really need to. That's it, guys. I did not think this is gonna be that tough. Kind of out of breath now. Okay, let's go with something like map. Let's kind of decrease this. Let's run the code. So, I mean, I did write this code once, but then I haven't like, what up guys, I'm kind of getting teamed up on here. I haven't figured out how I really did that, because if I hit something like Q, I can like move really fast and everyone else is gonna get idle. If I get closer, they kind of start chasing me, although I do want to kind of run away from them. There we go. Okay, so everyone's gonna stop here. There we go. I mean, it is kind of fun, to be honest. There are my tiny minions. I'm gonna go with something like C and kind of just spawn a horde of them real quick. Now let's just click something like you. Okay, I mean, they are kind of out of my range, so this feels more like the zombie apocalypse, but I should stop playing here. Hold up, guys. It was getting kind of fun. Okay, so let me just take a while to think, what did I actually mess up with? What went wrong in this program that shouldn't have gone wrong? So for starters, in my Lisa's C++ file, is there something that I needed to... Let's see. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so class. Okay, let me try getting my screenshot up here again. So this was the error that I got. Let's zoom in. So it says a project with an output type of class library cannot be started directly. So why did I get that? Let me get my chat back up here. There we go. In order to debug this project, add an executable project to the solution and reference the library project. Set the executable project as the startup project. I see. Set the executable project as a startup project. Executable project as a startup project. What did I do wrong to actually run into that error? I've never got that error before. Okay, so I have classes, I have a G engine, I don't screen debug message. I kind of really want to debug that project to see where I really messed up on, but if I messed up somewhere in my settings, that would be kind of hard to figure out. I mean, I guess it should be fine. I guess it should be fine for the time being. Although I will be adding, let's say, another character class right now. Actually, another class that I do want to summon, because I do want to work on my summoning logic. This time, I'm gonna go ahead and summon either my boss's mesh or my Lucy's mesh. That said, I'm gonna go up here. Let's go to something like tools. I'm gonna go to new class. This is going to be a character class as well. Let's go ahead and hit something like next. What should I name it? I'll go with Lucy. There we go. Although my Lucy's mesh is not really... I did not kind of join them, so I might open my Blender real quick. Alright guys, let me kind of open my Blender real quick. Okay, wait, my bad. Maybe not my Blender. I'm gonna go ahead and open my Blender's meshes. Let's go with something like my Lucy.blend. Let's double click that. Let's kind of grab it here. There. And if you guys are wondering how did I make it, I usually have Blender streams or any kind of streams in general that's not programming every Tuesday. I do ask you guys in my community post as to what I'm gonna do, but I haven't been asking you guys for the past 2 weeks here. Instead, I've been just going over my blenders. So today I'm gonna kind of work on this. Here's the thing, I wanted to, I mean, I'm not gonna work on this today. I just want to save this. I worked on this like this Tuesday. But the thing is, I won't say it's a bad mesh, but I'm not like done with it. So I don't want to really join stuff here. Because I do need to attach a head. Should this stream be some Blender? Should I do some Blender in the stream, guys? Maybe not. I'll hold myself back from actually adding a Blender stream. Instead, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say work with tools, new class, gonna create a character class. Let's go with something like boss mesh. I don't really want to have a boss mesh. That's so annoying. Okay, wait, if I were to go to my content, it's a bit lower. I'm gonna go to something like Blender QLB files. I have animated meshes, environmental assets, health bar, meals, NPCs. For NPC, I have common NPC that I use, dragon that I use, female that I used. Lisa is gonna be this. Okay, and let's go back to my NPCs. Who was my female? Pretty sure it was Lucy. There we go. Which I did not kind of join. Okay, I guess I'm going to go to my dragon mesh. Let's go to something like static mesh. Okay, I might go with the dragon, to be honest. Michi Huang is not completely done. I guess I'll go with my boss mesh in that case because I don't have anything else. So I'm going to go with something like boss. And then let's go ahead and create it. Now I'm going to exit my content drawer real quick. Okay, let's wait for this to add my code because I cannot actually do anything until it's not added. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and reload all. So the process is going to be exactly the same as what I did with my Lisa, but my boss's mesh here is going to go ahead and, let's say, have different kind of abilities compared to what my Lisa has. That's going to be kind of cool. Okay, will I be needing any inputs that I want to add? I only need my summon action, so my summon action is going to go ahead and have another key press here, which is going to be for something like B. If I click B, I want to go ahead and spawn a boss. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go... let's say inside my boss's class, or inside my Tom's header files. Now, in my Tom's header files, I'm just curious, what if I add a T subclass off? Let's go with T subclass off. A prof ankle braces, I'm going to go with something like a boss, which is going to be called something like boss summon or summon boss. Ending with a semicolon. Okay, I cannot actually do this. I would need to... My bad. I forgot to add my bosses. Excuse me, guys. I forgot to include my boss's header, so I'm going to go with something like hashtag include boss.h, which is basically my boss's header files. Then I'm going to hit Control S to save the code. And guys, we're at 19 likes. The next 25 minutes, once it gets over, which is basically an hour and 15 minutes on the stream, I'll have to do like 90 more push-ups. Well, that's going to be kind of fun. Okay, that's it. I have something like summon Lisa, I have something like summon boss. That's about it. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and create a boolean check as well, called something like B is B pressed. I'm going to check if my B has been pressed on my keyboard, which is initially going to be set to false. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of copy this, paste it here. I'm going to go ahead and set this to be something like B underscore pressed and B underscore released. Okay, and then I'm going to use the same summon function, so that's about it. I'm going to hit Control S to save the code. Now, in my boss's C++ file, let's go under my RMB functions, C functions, Q functions. I'm going to go ahead and add another comment that says something like B functions. Okay, where I'm going to go ahead and add a white function of something like a Tom, which is going to use a scope resolution operator to point towards my B underscore pressed function, which, if my B is being pressed, let's go with something like B underscore pressed. Okay, where if my B is being pressed, then I'm going to set my boolean variable of is B pressed to be equal to true, because yes, my B is being pressed. Okay, but did I have a typo here by any chance? B underscore pressed, B underscore released. I did not have a typo. Okay, I guess it's just my Visual Studio kind of tweaking. Next up, I'm gonna go with something like void atom, which is a scope resolution operator to point towards something like b underscore release, released, with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces. There, I'm gonna go ahead and set my is the pressed to be equal to true, ending with a semicolon. That's basically the two boolean check functions that I had to define, which I declared in my header files. Next up, I'm gonna go under my summon function, and let's say I add an if statement. So after I'm done with this if statement, I'm gonna add another if statement to firstly check if my world exists, to check if my boolean variable of isVpressed is set to true, and if my summon boss's object exists. Let's go with something like summon boss. If all these conditions are met, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm gonna go ahead and get my bosses. Let's go with something like get bosses there. Okay, so I'm gonna get my boss's spawn location. Let's go with something like spawn spawn and rotation. There, and I just realized, let me kind of set this to be an uppercase R. That looks much better. Okay, so now firstly I'm going to use an F vector, the ECTLR, to go ahead and get my boss's location. So I'm going to go with something like boss spawn. Where is my boss actually going to spawn? After fixing my typo here, let's go with something like F vector. Okay, perfect. Which is going to be equal to what am I going to do here? Let's think. I'm going to firstly get my actors' location. And you guys might be thinking I can just look up here to see the code. I'm not really looking at that because I want to kind of recall the function names on my own. So I'm going to go ahead and get my actor location where my Tom is located. I'm going to go ahead and increase that by get actor forward 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 vector. Which way my Tom is facing? Is it facing or whichever way my Tom's face is facing, or WART. Okay, this is get actor forward vector as a function. I keep messing my spellings up. Guess I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this. There, get actor forward vector, and I'm gonna go ahead and multiply that by, I'll go with something like 600.f, 600 units away from my actual Tom. Since I am using a multiplication here, I'm gonna add a pair of parentheses here. So my Unreal Engine, or so my C++ prioritizes doing this block of code first, or doing the math in this block first before actually adding that with my get actor location. I mean, the asterisk multiplication precedence is like higher than addition, so regardless of having the pair of parentheses, I would do multiplication first before the addition. Just to be safe, I did this. Okay, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go with something like F rotator as well. So I'm gonna go with something like F rotator. Okay, which is going to be represented by something like my boss's rotation. Okay, and guys, we're at 21 likes. It's actually getting kind of a lot because like in 5 more minutes, I think it's going to be like 25 minutes. Because wait, I think should have been like 15. Yeah, it's 1 hour and 10 minutes that I've been streaming. So last I did my push-ups on I think like 50 minutes. So 50 plus 10 is like an hour, plus 10 is 20. We're done with 20 minutes. So in 5 more minutes, I'll have to do like as many push-ups as our likes us add. Guys, I phrased that absolutely wrong. I cannot phrase these days for some reason. It's like probably like I'm getting the syndrome that people have usually when they talk a lot. It's like, have you guys noticed when people, for example, professors and all, they talk a lot, like they're the professors who are mostly for like, let's say, who teaches how to talk a lot. They sometimes do stutter and all that stuff. I feel like I'm going through that phase right now. It's because I'm trying to like find the most accurate word to use while I'm figuring out what I'm doing, if that makes any sense. Okay, that's next time we're gonna go with summon logic. Let's go with something like summon boss. And guys, when I said that thinking what I'm doing, it could be that I'm just making an excuse because I can't talk right now. That's let's go with something like world. So I'm gonna go ahead and point my world towards a spawn actors as template, which needs to have my actor that I want to summon. In this case, it's gonna be my A boss. Then I'm gonna go with the pair of parentheses that requires 2 parameters. If I hover over it, will it tell me what? I mean, I do know what it is. It is firstly what I want to summon, I want to go ahead and summon my boss. S-U-M-M-O-N, boss. Where do I want to summon my boss? I'm going to go with something like boss spawn. And then where do I want my boss to face once he spawns? I'm going to go with something like boss spawn rotation. And then I can go ahead and add a G engine if I want after this. It's not like mandatory, but I feel like I think it's actually pretty good to add that, so it makes this stuff look a bit better. Let's go with G engine that points towards a add on screen debug message. Okay, which requires a few parameters. First is going to be -1. Second is going to be time, for how long do I want my text to be displayed on my window. I'm going to go with something like maybe 5 seconds because boss is like a bit better than regular NPCs. And then I'm going to go with something like my F colors as structure, where I want my color to be something like red when my boss spawns. I'm going to change that to something like cyan when my regular NPC spawns, maybe black. There, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a text. Let's go ahead and add a pair of parentheses that say something like text. For my text, I'm going to go with something like, you have, get this in a new line, there we go. You have summoned a boss. Let's go with something like a boss. Okay. You must, guys, I want to write something cheesy. You must bear his wrath. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and control it to save the code, ending this with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm practically done with almost everything. I'm gonna scroll all the way down here. Let's say under my sprint action, heavy sprint action, Q press, Q release, C press, C release. That is Lisa's summon action. Okay, so the thing that makes it so hard is because I did not add any kind of comments here. So annoying. I'm gonna go with something like bind RMB action. Guys, this is why adding comments is like really important. Later on when you refer to your code, it's gonna be like a nightmare to like see what does what. Let's go with something like bind C action. Should I go with C action bind summon action? Okay, and then I'm gonna go with something like bind Lisa summon action. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with another comment. Whoops. That says something like bind boss summon action. Okay, let's go with something like action. And then I'm going to go down here that says something like a bind sprint action. There we go. That looks much better, to be honest. Next, I'm going to go with something like enhanced input component that points towards something like bind action with a pair of parentheses. Bind action. Okay, which requires a parameter. The first parameter is who do I want to really summon. So I'm going to go to something like Tom. Lisa summon action. This is gonna just be called something like summon action. Oh, here's the thing. Lisa summon action could just be called summon action. That's gonna work. I'm gonna go ahead and just change this to something like summon action. Summon action, summon action. Whoops, add a pair of parentheses, remove that. There we go. That is summon action, and this is bind C rest. Let's go with something like C rest action. Okay, and go with something like bind B pressed action. This looks much better. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my action in because my B press is a summon action. I'm gonna go ahead and set this to be something like summon action. And guys, I just realized we hit like 16 minutes. I guess it's time to go ahead and do like 23 push-ups. This is actually gonna be kind of tough this time. Oops, I actually forgot. Let me go to my main camera real quick. Hold up, guys. There we go. Let's go to my main camera. There. Okay, let's just kind of get my chair off the way because it kind of gets in my way, I realized. Let's get this a bit back there. And kind of stretch this because... You guys hear any crack? Okay, so I guess I gotta do 23 push-ups now. Could be kind of tough, but let's do it. Okay, just getting my positions, guys. Hold up. There we go. There, that was 23. Guys, why do I feel that I'm actually athletic? I thought that I actually stayed in my chair the entire day. I'm not supposed to be this athletic. Okay, I mean, I guess 23 push-ups isn't that much, to be honest. Okay, did my camera get kind of laggy? Let me just kind of check if my stream is laggy. Okay, I guess it's not. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my gameplay screen. There we go. Okay, that was a lot. That said, I guess in the next 25 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and work again. So now, for my bind action, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say add a e-trigger event. Am I in my gameplay screen? Let me check real quick. Guys, my arms are kind of quaking. There we go. Okay, I opened like Outlook real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a trigger event here. Okay, there, my event type is going to be started. Okay, so if a summon action has started on this object, I want to do what this function from my a.times.this class tells me to do. My function is going to be b_pressed. This sets my isBpressed boolean variable to be set to true. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and add another enhanced input component that points towards bind action. There, I'm going to go ahead and add a summon action. There we go. And a e-trigger event. I'm going to go with something like e-trigger event, which is going to be completed. So if my summon action has been completed on this object, then I want to do what this function tells me to do, what my a.times.this function tells me to do. Actually, on a.times.this function, I want to do what the function from my a.times.this class tells me to do. The function name is b_released. My b is no longer being pressed, so it's set to released. Now let's hit Control S to save the code. Excuse me, guys. And then if I were to go to my Unreal Engine, it's something like Control Alt F11. Okay, I guess let's go ahead and wait for this. While I'm waiting for this, might hydrate my lips up. Feel I got really dehydrated. And I guess I gotta go ahead and take a sip of water as well. Maybe later, I guess it's just compiled. Okay, so I'm gonna kinda extend this now. And then let's click my Tom. In my Tom, if I go ahead and type something like summoning, I just see one summon Lisa. I see a summon action, which is gonna be my IA_summon. Well, I mean, I guess I thought that this shortcut would have worked where I could have created my summon boss as well. Apparently not. Apparently we gotta add another new property for it. Where I'm gonna go with something like store Lisa's actor to summon later. By Lisa, I meant boss. Okay, I wrote Lisa instinctually, to be honest. Now let's hit Control S to save the code. I'm gonna go with Control Alt F11 to compile the code real quick. Once it's compiled, you guys will magically see I'm gonna get another slot down here. Let's kind of shrink this. And then let's go ahead and type something like summoning. There we go. I guess bada boom bada bam. Guys, we got another slot here. Now, I won't just use my slot just yet. I'm gonna go to something like my content. In my content drawer, I'm gonna go to my C/C++ classes. I'm gonna go to my boss's class, right click, be careful, and click my create blueprint class based on boss. I'm gonna go ahead and name my blueprint class something like BP_boss. Then I'm gonna create my boss class. Okay, let's kind of get this here. Now, inside my boss's class, firstly, I'm gonna go ahead and add a static mesh. There, I'm gonna go ahead and add a boss mesh. And guys, kind of ignore how my mesh looks here. It looks kind of pixely, of course, because it kind of is. Okay, let's go with R, because this was like the first ever meshes that I did make when I started Unreal Engine, because I wasn't good with Blender, which I still currently am not, but I'm getting much better at the 3D modeling part of it. Okay, that's... Guys, I think those push-ups just kind of got me out of breath. Let's go with something like E. I'm gonna kind of rotate myself 90 degrees. Actually, 180 degrees. There, now let's click something like W, go in front, put to the left. There, and now my boss is kind of facing my pivot point, which goes that way. Well, I guess it is. Okay, so once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and go with something like AI possess. Maybe I'm gonna go with something like possess. Wait, actually my boss's self is gonna have that. So my auto possess AI is gonna be changed from placed in world to placed in world or spawn in world. Oh, guys. And then let's compile. Okay, I guess, guys, 24 likes. Next 25 minutes, I'll have to do 24 push-ups. I guess my arm's at its limit. I might have to do it in segments. That's it. Let's go and drink some water real quick. Okay. Now, under my boss, summon bosses section, I'm going to set this to be BP_boss, which stands for blueprint_boss. There we go. Something else that I want to do. I'm gonna go ahead and open my... That is Lisa. That is boss. That is Tom. In my Tom, I'm gonna go with something like summoning. And set my summon action to be something like IA_summon. And now if auto hit Control Alt F11 to compile the code. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, it says result succeeded. I'm gonna go ahead and run the code real quick. If I hit B, my boss spawns and my Lisa spawns as well. If I hit C... Wait, why does both spawn? Guys, I'm surrounded, might need some help. Okay, I mean, it looks kind of funny to be honest. But I'm kind of curious to see if my boss really moves. I'm gonna hit something like C. My Lisa chases me, but my boss does not chase me. I do know why my boss is not chasing me, but I don't know why did both summon at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. Well, maybe both summon at the same time because... why? Okay, so one reason that both summon at the same time could be because in my Tom's C++ file, I have my B pressed, have my C pressed. Only C is pressed, I want to do that. Only B is pressed, I want to do this. Why does my C still summon? Maybe because in my Lisa's C++ file, I have states. I have my current state, distance to player. I don't have these for my boss. I don't have no update logic for my boss as well. I gotta add that. I don't really have much content inside my boss as well. So I gotta go ahead and add that as well. Can I just have a parent class that really has all these states and then just inherit them through my boss, Lisa, and all that? Maybe I could work on that next stream. This stream, I'm kind of out of breath right now. What up, guys? Okay. I think Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Guys, actually getting kind of hot here. Okay, so I have current state, Lisa state, idle, Lisa state, control. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and add that logic to my boss's header files. Firstly, I'm gonna go ahead and add different kind of states to my boss. Here's a thing though. If I were to right click my Visual Studio projects and open something like my SummonX project, this is a project that I worked on a week ago. Okay, hold up guys, let's wait for this to load real quick. Okay, so I have my boss here, I have my minion here, and I have my necromancer here. If I were to go ahead and run the code, and in case you guys don't know what a necromancer is, it's basically a fictional character, I think a fictional character that can summon the dead. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wait for this to open my Unreal Engine. Oh, it says one failed. Well, maybe because I have my Unreal Engine open. Let's kind of exit this real quick. Definitely want to save it all. Now let's kind of run the code. Did I open my correct project? Is it game logic? Hold up, guys. Let me kind of check if it is my game logic. I think it's my game logic and not my necromancer. Summoned object, necromancer. Uh, uh, mm, 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 mm. Nope. Okay, what project was it? Not game logic, not summon X, not dodge the enemy, not enemy logic. I think it was necro. I think it was summon X. That was like my actual program that I worked on with several of my classes. Let's go to something like build. I want to kind of clean solution first. Let's clean my solution because I did add a logic where both my boss and my minion, which in this case it's my boss and minion technically, they both chase my necromancer and I don't think I added all that logic to it. Let's run the code now. Okay, how are you doing? Sono or Sonoff? Is that your fitness name? I appreciate you joining the stream. That said, guys, it's way too awkward looking at the camera and talking because back, like, I think, like, whichever, like, my previous stream, I think it was, like, yesterday and all that stuff, my camera was at my eye level, so I could just look in front. Now I gotta look kind of up. I would say, like, it looks much better and it's more convenient for me to look up in the camera and, like, talk compared to look in front of me. But, I mean, it is kind of awkward. It's gonna take some getting used to time. That said, let's wait for this to compile real quick. Okay, and guys, make sure you guys smash the like button because I did do 20. I think it was like 23 push-ups when we were at like an hour and 15 minutes of me streaming. I'm gonna go ahead and do how much ever likes I have by then. I'm gonna do those 20 push-ups. So technically, when is the next time that I'm gonna do 15? So now it's 28. Guys, do the math. 15 and 28. 28 minus 15 is 13. So 13 minutes has passed. In the next 22 minutes, I'm going to be spending like, actually 22 minutes. 13 plus 7 is 27, 8, 9, 10, 11. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to actually be doing my push-ups again. I'm learning Python for a PCAP. Oh, I see. Honestly, good luck with learning Python. Sonef, is that your name? That's it. If you're like a beginner Python and you do want a roadmap, I did have a Python for 100 series where I spent like 100 years learning Python. And by the end of my series, I made like a actually pretty good game with like voiceover, sound effects, and some kind of cool logic and all that stuff. So if you do want the roadmap, or in general, if you guys do want the roadmap that I personally use for Python, make sure to join my Discord server and like mention me that I can like DM it to you guys. That said, let's go ahead and open my Visual Studio. I mean, not my Visual Studio, my Unreal Engine. And just kind of run the code. First, I'm going to go to content. Okay, let's run the code. Now, if I hit something like C, B. Oh, I see. Wait. What up, guys? Okay, my boss, they do chase me. But I don't think that I'm kind of satisfied with them just... Whoa. Do I have a Q logic here? I don't. Okay, they do chase me and I have physics on my minions here, but I want both of them to chase me simultaneously. So I didn't work on that in my Summon X project, so I guess that I was having trouble up there. Guys, I'm way too out of breath for some reason. Okay, I guess I can just manually do the whole thing, it doesn't really matter. Let's run the code. Later, I will be asking Claude if there's like an easier way to make a deity class or like a parent class. Yeah, or a base class in C++ terms. We call it like parent and like child classes. I'm assuming in Python and C++ we call it like base and derived classes. I'm gonna check if I can like create a base class that consists of all my attributes. For example, chasing my player, attacking my player, just staying in an idle state and all that. And then I'm going to create a bunch of derived classes and derive those things. That's it. And guys, I do like have some color stuff as well. So these last 25 minutes might be the I can't speak for some reason. Okay, it might be the I might end the stream after the next 25 minutes or after my next push-up session. Okay, because I like got an exam as well. And the reason I can't talk properly, I don't know why. Today is like I feel like I'm not warmed up or something. That's it. Let's click something like C. So my boss and my Lisa, they firstly summon at the exact same time. I gotta kind of avoid that from happening. I wonder if there's collision. Oh, there is. Okay, Lisa is not really chasing me. What if I hit C again? There we go. Now both start chasing me. Let's go out of it in front. Okay, they don't stop to be. Oh, they do stop. This is their limit. Oh, wait, never mind. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go to something like my class here. Now, I'm gonna add a kind of logic that my boss starts chasing me as well. So in my boss's header files, firstly, above my classes, I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment here that says something like create enum states. Okay, for my enum states, I'm gonna go ahead and firstly create a enum, which which is going to be a blueprint type. Let's go with something like a blueprint print type. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with something like, oh, I think I spelled blueprint wrong. Hold up, guys. This is going to be BLUE for blue, and then print for print. So I'm going to create a enum, which is going to be blueprint type, and then I create a enum class called something like e state type. Let's go with something like state type, which is practically going to be my boss state. That is going to be having a colon here of something like uint8. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a pair of curly braces. In my pair of curly braces, let's add a few states. My first state is going to be something like attack. My boss is going to go ahead and attack me. I'm going to set my umeta. Let's go with something like umeta. Okay, display name. I'm gonna set my umeta display name to be something like display to be attack. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add a comma here, go with my second state, which is gonna be chase. I'm gonna again add a umeta. Let's go with something like umeta display name is gonna be equal to chase. And I do not know why do I have these red squiggly lines here. Blueprint type. Did I go with blueprint weak type? I'm positive I just went blueprint type. Blueprint. There. And then I have an enum class. Lisa state. I could go with something like state. Okay, so I needed game framework characters as header files, but I have that here already. Okay, I blame my Unreal Engine. Like, I did everything correct. It's just my Unreal Engine that's kind of messed up here. But Unreal Engine and my Visual Studio, I keep messing those names up. Wait, has 25 minutes already passed? Hi, do you remember me? Hi, Kiwi Calcs. I appreciate you joining the stream. And actually, yeah, I do like remember you. It's been a while since I've seen you. I wonder where you were at. That said, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let's see. And guys, I think it's been 25 minutes. Last I did push-ups at like 35, and now it's 34. There, 35. I think that makes 25 minutes, right? In case my math is kind of wrong. Okay, that's it. Let's go to my main camera. Now, in my main camera, I'm gonna go ahead and firstly move my chair up. How many likes do we have? We have 25 likes. That means oh, guys, I guess I gotta do 25 push-ups. Okay, I guess, you know what? I think I should like, whatchamacallit? Do like squats and like kind of segment between those two stuff. But for this stream, I am just going over push-ups. So I guess let's see if I can do 25 push-ups. I am kind of fatigued by the previous push-ups that I've been doing. Okay, I guess let's go. There we go. I think I'll call it a day. We're at 26. Guess I'll do one more. There we go. Alright guys, I think I'll call that a day. Let's grab my chair back here. I can't remember the last time I did something like this. Let's go to my gameplay screen. Okay. Hi, so I'm making a product. Would you buy it, and do you think that there is market for that product? Guys, I cannot read right now. Okay, and do you think that there is market for that product? Is a knob that have Politics, I haven't actually heard of that, and you can add buttons like Stream Deck. Okay, the function will be already created, and the user could create themselves too. That actually sounds really cool, but I don't think I'm going to actually get that because for the time being, I'm not really using like a Stream Deck. Although I did think to like get that in the future type stuff. That said, okay, I guess let's continue. Kind of forgot where I was at, and in case you guys want to see my entire window and me like actually doing the complete push-ups, because I don't think that you guys might be able to see that properly in like the vertical streams because it's kind of portrait, make sure to move on to my horizontal stream. That's where I have like a landscape view of me actually showing myself working out. That's it. I think it does like wonders for your body, to be honest. So I'm gonna go with something like Control S to save the code here. And now once I'm done with this, do I have a kind of typo here? Oh, I see. My U meta is going to be all uppercase, guys. I think actually doing that push-up kind of got me to figure out my typo here, or the mistake that I have. But I still see a lot of red squiggly lines. I think now my logic is correct. It's just my... Let's try to compile to see if it's correct. Control Alt F11. Okay, it's just my Visual Studio at this point, I feel, right? There we go. Okay, it said result succeeded, so it's just my Visual Studio. You guys can like ignore the red underlines here. So now once I'm done adding my states, what is the next thing that I want to do? Under my begin play, do I have a function? So I'm gonna create a let's say U property for finding my distance to player. That's for starters. Second, current state. Okay. So I'm gonna first add a comment that says something like current state to current state. Okay. And then let's say I'm gonna go ahead and add a U property. Okay, which is firstly gonna be visible anywhere. I want my current state to be visible anywhere. I want my current state to be something like blueprint read only. Guys, for some reason I feel like my bulk is kind of insane. Like I feel my arms and my chest is kind of swelling out. I think like the push-ups were actually kind of cool. That said, do I want to stream for 25 more minutes and go for like the final round? I mean, I could actually stream for 25 minutes and go for the action round for the time being. As for now, we do have like 26 likes. So like after the next 25 minutes, I will be doing like 26 push-ups at ending the stream. Unless you guys like the stream, so the more my likes increase, the more push-ups I'm gonna do. I feel like this is a pretty good business strategy, guys. Okay, let's go with something like blueprint read only. Visible anywhere. Did I have typo? A-N-Y to B-H-E-R-E. There we go. And this is going to be U-P-R. I spelled U probably wrong, no wonder. Okay, perfect. And then lastly, my category, I'm going to go with something like a category. Is going to be equal to, let's see, I might go with something like, is this summon state? Sure, I could go with AI. Okay, and then let's go ahead and create my eState type. I'm gonna go with something like eState type, which honestly could be something like eBoss state. eBoss state type. Boss state type. That makes it a bit more clearer to read. Let's hit Control C. Wait, did I go with Control C? There, I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. And then paste it somewhere here. I'm gonna go with something like eBoss state type. Is going to be represented by a local variable called something like current state. I'm going to go with something like current state. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and just end that with a semicolon. Okay, bye, good luck. Honestly, I appreciate the secure stream pixel. I'll catch you next stream. And I feel like I might actually end the stream as well because I do like got an exam, to be honest. Maybe once I'm done with this, I guess like in 25 more minutes. Okay, so that's Elisa state is going to be current state. Okay, so this is going to be current state, and then I want to add another comment that says something like distance from, let's say something like distance from Tom, which could be target. Let's go with something like target. For that, I'm going to add another U property, which I want it to be visible anywhere. I want it to be blueprint read only. I only want my blueprint to be able to read it. And lastly, let's go with something like my category that is going to be equal to something like AI. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and create a floating point variable called something like distance to player. I'm going to go with something like player, PLA. Actually, distance to player makes sense, which is going to be ending with a semicolon. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to hit Control S to save the code, and then I'm going to exit my Visual Studio. I'm going to go to my Solution Explorer up here. I'm going to go to something like Documents, Visual Studio, going to go to Enemy, going to go to Dodge the Enemy, going to right click, More Options, and Generate Visual Studio Projects, because like the red squiggly lines is getting kind of annoying. So I'm going to get rid of those. Let's kind of get this here. It's currently generating my project files. While it's generating it, I might wait. Guys, we're at 28 likes after like 28 push-ups. Okay, I mean, I guess my arms can kind of do it. That said, let's open my Visual Studio up here. It says I get this thing with my Visual Studio project. Press reload all. Okay, I guess let's reload all. Get my Visual Studio up here. All of a sudden, there's no way. Dodge the enemy. Where's my boss's header files? I saved it, didn't I? Let's go with Control Alt L to get my Solution Explorer here. I see Tom. Okay, there we go. Guys, this gave me actually a scare. I was like, where's my boss's header file in C++? There we go. Okay, the red underline's gone. Okay, that's all I wanted from this. Now that my red underlines are gone, I can pay more attention on my program, so I can go to my boss's C++ file and my C++ file. I'm firstly gonna go ahead and include my helper library of my Kismet's gameplay statistics. So I'm gonna go with something like KISMET/gameplay statistics .h. So I include my gameplay statistics as header files. Then I want to go ahead and let's say include my AI controller. I'm going to go with something like AI controller.h, which is basically my AI controllers as header files. And then I want to go ahead and let's say include something from my engine. I'm going to go with something like engine/engine.h, which is my engine's header files for my add-on screen debug message, because I do use G-engine there. And then next up, I'm going to go ahead and include... What else? Is there anything else that I might need? Let me think. I can't think anything for the time being, so I'm going to kind of skip over it. And guys, I actually forgot. When did I do my last push-ups again? I think I did it at 35, and now it's 44. So 10 minutes has passed, 15 more minutes. So it's going to be 50 at 60. At exactly 2 hours, I'm going to actually, like when I hit 2 hours in my stream, I'm going to go ahead and do the push-ups again. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Okay, damn bro, you're still here. Have you tried V-Line in this time? Honestly, I haven't like tried V-Line yet, but I will be having a mini series trying that, to be honest. But that said, I've been like burning my arms up doing push-ups and typing, so I feel like I've got finger muscles and like my bicep muscles still. Okay, so now inside my constructor of my boss's C++ file, I'm gonna add a comment that says something like initialize. So I'm gonna go with something like initialization. Sounds much better. INITILIZATION. For my initialization, I'm firstly gonna go ahead and initialize my current state, which is there we go. Gonna copy my state type, boss state type. Okay, so my current state is going to be equal to, let's say, something like idle. I want my boss to start while he's attacking, while he's chasing. Fine. Our boss does not have a idle state. Didn't really want to add idle for the boss. And then I'm gonna go with something like distance to player, DISTANCE to player. Okay, can you flex your bicep that we can see it if you gain progress in the future? Honestly, that does make sense. I might really do that. Once we hit the 2 hour mark on this stream, I'm actually gonna do that stuff. And maybe you guys never know. Next year I might do like whenever I'm having my workout streams, I might actually do shirtless to see my abs and all that stuff, which I don't actually have. That is a very big maybe, guys. It really depends if I'm really gonna do that. Okay, so I'm gonna go with something like distance to player, which is gonna be equal to something like 0.f, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and I guess I'm gonna do my bicep reveal in about 14 minutes. Okay, once I'm done with my initialization, what is the next thing that I might need? Maybe under my boss's header files, I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment that says something like functions. I'm gonna go with something like a white function called something like update boss state logic. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Let's copy that. Let's go ahead and control S to save the code. Go to my boss's C++ files. And then I'm gonna add a comment here that says something like update boss state logic function. And then just add a few bunch of spaces here. Update boss state logic function. Okay, now under my update boss state logic function, I'm gonna go ahead and add a white function, which is gonna be from my bosses class. I'm gonna use a scope resolution operator to get a hold of my update boss state logic function. That does not require any parameters, so I'm just gonna go with the prof curly braces. Damn perfect, bro. I'll see your perfection with your perfect smile. That actually means the world to me, guys, and it does look kind of cool as well. I kind of want to see myself as well in like maybe like 200 more days. Okay, might be like I'm actually kind of shredded. Guys, might be a chat by then. Okay, that's it. Let's see. So update boss state logic. My function is gonna go ahead and require, let's say, kind of forgot. I want to get my world first. So I'm gonna get my world. Okay, to get my boss's world, what is something that I might want to do first? Firstly, I might want to go ahead and add my new world, which is going to be represented by a pointer called world. That is going to be equal to my get worlds function. So with the permission of my Unreal Engine, I get my world. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to add another comment that says something like safety check. Check if worlds exist. Wait. Why do I feel like this is my summoning logic? Hold up, guys. This might be my summoning logic. Kind of did something wrong here. In my Lisa's C++ file. Oh, so this should have been state logic. I mixed the two up. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a switch here. Before my switch, I might need a f string. So I'm gonna go with something like f string, which is gonna be called something like state name. It is initially going to be set to a pair of double quotes, which is an empty string. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a switch. Excuse me, guys. Let's go with something like switch. For my switch, I'm going to add a condition of, let's say, my EBOS state or my current state. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a pair of curly braces. Not a pair of curly. Did I really forget how to add a switch? Or did doing all those push-ups kind of rupture my... There we go. Okay, this is gonna go in a pair of parentheses. How did I forget that? That's the very basics. And then I'm gonna go with the pair of curly braces. In my pair of curly braces, I'm gonna go ahead and add a case. For my case 1, I'm gonna check if my EBOS state type, okay, if my state type is chase, which it will begin by being chase. Let's go with CHASE. If it is chase, then I'm gonna do something. My state name, just to like avoid typos, I'm going to copy and paste that here. My state name is going to be something like chase. Whoops. Let's go with something like chase. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and end that with a semicolon. I'm going to go ahead and add a if statement for adding a safety check that checks something like if my distance, distance to player is, let's say, less than or greater than. Actually, it's less than. If my distance to player is less than 1,000, okay, then I want my boss to chase my player. I'm gonna go with something like, I gotta get my boss's controller too, right? I kind of forgot this part. That is chasing you. Okay, I gotta get my brain first. So I gotta get my boss's controller, my boss's AI controller. And then I gotta get my target. I gotta check if my controller is there. If my target is there, then I move my controller towards my player. It's not that hard. I feel like I'm just exhausted, like kind of think this through now. Okay, I guess let's try it. So I'm gonna go with something like, did I need to go with my distance to player first? No, I go with my distance to player later. So I'm firstly gonna go ahead and get my AI controller, which is basically brain. Let's go with something like causes brain. Okay, so I'm gonna go with something like AI controller, which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like boss controller. This AI is going to be controlling my boss. Okay, that is going to be equal to cast. My cast is template, which requires a parameter of my AI controller with a row of parentheses that has a parameter of my controller. And then I end this with a semicolon. Once I'm done with that, for my step 2, I'm going to go ahead and get my target. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the stream up in 8 minutes, so I will be actually revealing my biceps there, and I'm going to be doing as many push-ups as my like is. So currently I have like 29 likes, which means I'm going to be doing 29 push-ups. So that's actually kind of whatchamacallit, exciting. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Okay, so I'm going to go with something like get my... Should I go with something like, I went with get my AI controller, which is basically my boss's brain. Next up, I want to get my target. Okay, so for my target, firstly, I'm going to go ahead and I will be using my Kismet's library here, but I forgot the syntax. I go with a character which represents a pointer, which is going to be represented by a pointer called player target that is equal to my U gameplay statistics, get player character. I see, so I'm going to go with something like a character. CHARACTER. Okay, a character which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like what's it going to be called? Player target. I'm going to go with something like player target. Okay, that is going to be equal to U gameplay statistics, which uses a scope resolution operator to get my U gameplay statistic, not the E. Okay, to get my character movement, was it get character? Get player character. I have not heard of that function. Get player character, CHARACTER, with a pair of parentheses, which requires a parameter of my get world. So I'm going to go ahead and get my world and my player index, which is going to be 0. Once I'm done with all that, I'm going to go ahead and work on the content inside my if statement. I'm going to go with something like my boss controller. Okay, I want to move it towards my player. Okay, command the move the player stop when within 50 units. So Lisa controller points towards move to actor. This is another function that I haven't worked with. Okay, boss controller, I'm going to go ahead and point towards the move to actor. This function which requires a parameter of my target. Who do I want to move towards? This is going to be my player target. And then I want to stop when I'm in 50 units, when I'm in range of 50, when I'm in a 50 miles is radius of 50 units is radius from my player. Then let's hit Control S to save the code. Now, if I open my Unreal Engine, hit something like Control Alt F11 to compile the code, let's wait for the code to compile real quick. While it's compiling, just going to kind of close my content jar. Oh, we got a compilation error. It says you update boss state logic. So the place that I actually messed up is I either had a typo, did I? Void update, there we go, forgot to add a pair of parentheses. There, let's hit Control S. And there's one more place that I actually messed up on, was that I forgot to add my tick logic. So let's actually take a look at that as well. From my take, I did this before. From my A character, I represented to a pointer called something like player char, which is equal to my U gameplay statistics, get player character, get world. Same exact thing. If player character does exist, distance to player, get distance to player, get distance to this function, player, I see. Okay, so in my boss's C++ file, just to save time, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. I'm gonna go all the way here, kind of paste this here, go all the way down here, and then I'm gonna go with something like okay, so that is a AI controller. Then I'm gonna go with something like a character, character, which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like player char. Okay, which is going to be equal to get, going to use into lessons, distance to, where I'm going to go ahead and get my world. Okay, and I'm going to get my players as index, which is going to be 0. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Here's the thing, did it really require a semicolon, or was it a pair of curly braces? Did I mess something up in my... How did I mess up even after I read the code? This doesn't make any sense. Oh, I see. Distance to player is going to be get to distance. Okay, so I'm going to go with something like an if statement that says something like, if my player char, what did I add here? This is going to be a AI controller. No, this is going to be a character, which is going to be represented by a pointer called player char. Okay, I think that part's correct. You gameplay statistics. Why did I add what I added up there? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust to save time. I'm gonna go with something like you gameplay statistics. Copy that, paste it here. Even though I do gotta write this to get my muscle memory, but I'm gonna get more practice next stream. This stream I do kind of gotta go because I got an exam. I think this Wednesday. Let's go with something like player char. Then I'm gonna go with a pair of curly braces. I'm gonna go with something like distance to player. This floating point variable that I created. I'm gonna set that equal to get distance to function. I'm gonna go with something like get world. And then I'm gonna go with my player index of 0, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. And guys, in 2 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of wrap the stream up and like do my final set of push-ups type stuff. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Okay, so it's get distance to only player char. How can I not remember this part? This is gonna be my player char. Okay, and then once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and invoke my update boss state function right here. There. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add a pair of parentheses to invoke the function, ending with a semicolon. Let's hit Control S to save the code. I'm gonna open my Unreal Engine here, hit something like Control Alt F11 to compile the code. Let's wait for it to compile. So let's see, there we go, so the result succeeded. Gonna go ahead and exit this, run the code. And now if I were to hit something like B, there we go, both actually follow me, but I don't take any credit for this question or like for doing this because I did like look at a reference to understand the syntax and all that stuff. That said, I'm going to go ahead and hit something like escape and kind of work on this program next stream as well on learning the syntaxes while doing this stuff on my own as well. I'm going to exit this, going to exit that. Okay, going to go ahead and exit Claude. And lastly, we hit 2 hours. I'm going to go to my main camera. Okay, perfect. I guess let's go with my final, set of push-ups here. And why is it that my final set of push-ups, my camera is kind of blurry now? Hold up, guys. I kind of want this to be good perfect. Let me restart OBS real quick in a sec. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, I think that's actually perfect. Okay, I guess let's go here and how many likes we're at? We're at 30 likes, so after the 30 push-ups, I feel like this is the best way to wrap the stream up if I actually could. Okay, what up, guys? Might actually show you guys my bicep before I do and after I do. So before I do biceps, I don't think it's actually that much, to be honest. I think it's kind of a bulk. You know what? I think it's actually a lot. Now let's see after I'm done doing the 30 push-ups. Let's kind of get in position. There we go. was 30 push-ups. Okay, let's take a comparison after the push-ups. I actually think it kind of grew, but I feel like my arms is pretty scrawny, to be honest. Oh, I got a cramp. Okay, I guess that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like, tips my algorithm, share, makes you smile, and subscribing is like a cheer on top. That said, I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on TikTok and Instagram as well. So if you guys really enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link will be in the description. And also on my Discord server, that's why I usually talk to you guys, chat with you guys, have general conversations. You guys can get access to my Discord server through the link in my description, through my bio, or by typing exclamation Discord on chat. That said, I'll catch you guys next time. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.